The United States Congress is accusing South Africa's only media empire, Naspers, of covertly running PR for the ANC, actively employing its platforms to attack anyone who exposes government corruption or opposes government policy. Accusing the South African government as the largest shareholder in Naspers of turning the country's mainstream news into a political weapon to try and justify even their gravest abuses, and negatively impacting every single citizen of this country. The South African media group Naspers famously owns and runs the lion's share of the major mainstream non-alternative media outlets in this country. This includes all the Media24 outlets such as News24 and the Afrikaans Netwerk 24, as well as several magazines such as Huisgenoot and You, as well as prominent publishing houses such as Tafelberg Uitgewers. To give you just an idea of just how big Naspers is, it is currently the largest publicly traded company in South Africa in terms of market capitalization, which is estimated to be just over 900 billion rands or around 50 billion US dollars. But the single largest shareholder in Naspers, owning roughly 25% of shares in this massive conglomerate, is the government-owned Public Investment Corporation, or PIC, which provides it with decisive influence over Media24. And in today's video, I will explain why this reality has sadly eroded press freedom in South Africa and is aiding in the destruction of the lives of millions of citizens, according to the US Congress. Naspers was initially founded back in 1915 as Die Nasionale Pers, the Afrikaans for national press, by an attorney and Afrikaner nationalist named W.A. Hofmeyr, for the purpose of establishing an independent press for the Afrikaner people who had recently lost all political control over their own republics following the Anglo-Boer War. Over much of the 20th century, Naspers remained dedicated to print media and book publishings, specifically focusing on supporting the interest of the Afrikaans language and Afrikaner culture. Beginning in the 80s, however, the company diversified into broadcasting, founding Mnet as the first subscription-based pay television channel in South Africa. The real pivot came around the turn of the millennium. In 2001, Naspers invested a relatively modest $34 million in a little-known Chinese tech company, Tencent, now the world's largest video game vendor. And this single bet, that turned out to be one of the most successful venture capital investments in corporate history, transformed Naspers from a local media company into a global technology and investment powerhouse. In 2019, it spun off its international internet assets into a separate entity called Prosus, which is listed on the Amsterdam Stock Exchange in the Netherlands, thereby further expanding its global investment portfolio while keeping its operational focus in the South African media landscape. For many decades, Naspers maintained what in practice amounted to a monopoly on the South African media landscape, with very few alternative companies being even remotely comparable in terms of capital and influence. In fact, even today, the second largest media company in South Africa, Arena Holdings, is completely dwarfed by Naspers when it comes to corporate size, financial scale, and the influence on the South African public. And it is precisely its influence on the South African public that has made Naspers such a destructive force in the decades past. You see, the South African government, by means of the PIC, is by far the largest shareholder in Naspers. The board of the PIC is not only appointed by the Minister of Finance in Ramaphosa's cabinet, who had always been an ANC ideologue, but this same minister, under South African law, even has the authority to issue directives to the PIC board. The PIC therefore actively drives a BE agenda of the ANC by way of proxy shareholder voting. But in the case of a media company such as Naspers, the danger runs much deeper than this. Although the PIC mainly owns N-type shares, which carry far fewer voting rights than the tightly controlled A-type shares, this does not mean they lack real influence. As the single largest shareholder in Naspers, the PIC holds roughly a quarter of the company's economic value, giving it enormous leverage in areas where management cannot ignore market sentiment, investor confidence, or capital stability. Even without dominant votes, a 25% economic stake means the PIC's approval is essential for any major strategic shift, capital rise, or restructuring or leadership credibility. If the PIC signals dissatisfaction, reduces its position in its shares, or publicly criticizes the governance of Naspers, it can wipe billions of Naspers valuation overnight, forcing the board to respond. In practice, this financial weight makes the PIC an unavoidable power center inside of Naspers, despite owning mainly N-type shares with limited formal voting rights. You see, as the largest shareholder, the government shapes the very narrative being promoted by Media24. In fact, recently, even US intelligence agencies have accused Media24 and specifically News24 of cooperating with state security structures, functioning effectively as a propaganda instrument for the ANC's agenda. US lawmakers consequently even expressed concern that press freedom in South Africa is completely eroded by government interference in News24, the largest news company in South Africa. The American lawmakers specifically highlighted that whistleblowers posing any threat to the ANC are being targeted by Media24. Recently, businessman Rob Hershoff, for example, faced a calculated hit piece by News24 journalist Andrew Thompson right after Hershoff raised concerns about the ANC's corruption and Iranian financial ties during a visit to the United States of America. What initially triggered the American intelligence agencies was a ruling earlier this year by the South African Press Ombudsman, in which SAI's Theo de Jager won a case against the very same Andrew Thompson. Thompson had claimed that de Jager was spreading fake news when he stated that Ackerland Farm in Limpopo was expropriated by the government without any compensation in 2018. The Ombudsman then vindicated de Jager, arguing that the farm had indeed been expropriated without compensation, as de Jager had claimed. The Ombudsman found not only Thompson, the journalist, but also News24 and its editor-in-chief Adrian Basson to be culpable of deliberately pushing disinformation about expropriation without compensation. Whether the American accusations of the mainstream media giant Naspers being influenced or controlled by state agencies is true or not, Naspers is clearly, by what we have seen here, actively running a PR campaign for the ANC. And when the only real media empire in the country amplifies the ruling party's propaganda by deliberately spreading disinformation like they did with the Ackerland case, shielding the government from scrutiny with fake news stories that they constantly publish and targeting its critics on command, the consequences reach far beyond bad journalism. It means public debate is being manipulated and engineered by this media company to the point where the right to free speech is actively suppressed by the biggest news company with an effective monopoly on mainstream news outlets. It means that what is supposed to be free media is actively working to keep a corrupt and evil government in power, thereby aiding in the oppression of all the peoples of this country. American intelligence agencies therefore have every right to investigate the agenda behind partially state-owned media companies that go out of their way to spread fake news just to defend the ANC's human rights abuses, as we have seen News24 doing over and over. Because in a country already teetering under state failure, economic collapse and institutional decay, a captured media ecosystem doesn't merely distort the narrative or kill public debate, it accelerates the decline in a way that directly hurts every single citizen of South Africa. This is exactly why we are doing what we are doing and trying to build up a small media company from the ground. Independent journalism is absolutely key to liberating the peoples of this country from the tyranny of the ANC and the propaganda of its propaganda arms such as News24. Check out our recent report on precisely the case of Ackerland Farm being expropriated without compensation, which we referred to earlier in this video, which News24 was actively spreading disinformation about. Just click on this link appearing on your screen right now. And remember to consider becoming a paid subscriber of the Willem Petzer Group. Without your help, we cannot continue to publish these videos or afford to continue to publish these videos to change the hearts and minds of peoples. Simply follow the steps on the banner underneath me. Goodbye and God bless.